Hi, everyone. My name is Sophia. I am presenting on Chapter 11, Supporting Successful Tier 1 Teams and Systems.
Hi, my name is Gabriela, and I will also be presenting.
So for today's agenda, we will be talking about effective systems, annual agreements, collaboration, calendars, marketing and branding school counseling program, advisory council, and recommendations for new school counselors to implement Tier 1 services. So first off, we're going to start with effective systems. On average, a counselor to student ratio is 1 to 482 students, which can make it difficult to meet the needs of every student as a counselor. Therefore, creating strong time management systems is crucial for counselors. It is important to be proactive and create annual and weekly calendars that outline all school counseling program activities. These calendars let stakeholders know that counselors are not always available and that those who need to have counseling support may need to schedule an appointment, usually done through a referral log. Within such systems, school counselors will be less likely to be asked to engage in non-school counseling duties, such as state test proctoring, substitute teaching, discipline matters, or providing any long-term therapy. So moving on to annual agreement. The annual agreement is an organizational tool provided by ASCA that defines the roles and responsibilities of school counselors. This is a useful tool to develop a plan between school counselors and administrators, as well as clarify the expectations related to formal performance evaluations. This should be done prior to the beginning of the school year so that the roles, responsibilities, and program goals are clear from day one to counselors and administrators. The annual agreement can also be used to advocate for counselors to spend time engaging in activities that will directly impact student achievement. When it comes to calendars, within Tier 1 systems, calendars allow scheduling of core curriculum lessons and school-wide activities in a manner that guarantees instruction for all students. It is important to share these calendars with students, teachers, administration, parents, community members, and any other stakeholders to ensure support for the school counseling program. And some ways that you can share these calendars would be through the school counseling website, any weekly, monthly, or quarterly newsletters, bulletin boards, or just hanging any printouts outside the counseling office. More specifically, the annual calendar is important because it communicates school counseling program priorities for the entire school year. The annual calendar identifies all Tier 1 activities, including school-wide programs and the whole sequence of the scheduled lessons and activities for the year. Counselors should collaborate with all stakeholders to ensure that core curriculum lessons, student planning, school-wide programs are developed and delivered to target the needs of all students. School counselors should create a calendar that will also target their needs and keep them on the right track throughout the school year. It is important to make these calendars visually appealing, but also easy to read in order to ensure that content is properly grasped by all stakeholders.
Alrighty, now we're going to move on to collaboration. So first off, school counselors collaborate with administration very closely. The school counselor plays an important role in educating their admin about their roles and model of school counseling program. We would suggest that school counselors schedule a consistent and regular meeting time with the administrator to discuss weekly calendars, Tier 1 activities, scheduling, or other issues impacting the effective delivery of core curriculum. And it's important to have a strong principal and counselor relationship. In addition, school counselors also collaborate very closely with school staff. Therefore, school counselors should participate on school leadership teams to help support Tier 1 programs and activities. For example, by participating in school committees, this would allow for that support and that relationship to become even stronger. And also, school counselors should ensure that teachers can easily collaborate and communicate with them as well. In addition, school counselors also collaborate very closely with community partners. Partnering helps support families within Tier 1. So for example, by partnering with the local organization that can come and support students fill out FAFSA and DREAM Act applications would be an example. Moving on to marketing your school counselor program. So marketing is very important to encourage participation in school counseling events. It's a great way to inform families, staff, students about core curriculum lessons and school-wide activities. There are different ways to market your school counseling program. For example, you can use district-approved social media platforms to share events and happenings within the school counseling program. We can also brand the program by creating a logo. This will help families and students easily recognize content and gives credibility and professionalism to the program. Lastly, we can send welcome letters, counseling program brochures, and create a counseling program website. Moving on to advisory councils. So the advisory councils usually include parents, students, school staff, administration, and community stakeholders. The advisory council meets at least once every semester and helps ensure that the school counseling program is consistent with the needs of the students and is impacting student success. Advisory councils are a great opportunity for school counselors to share information about their program and also look for support and individuals that will support their program. Now we're going to move on to recommendations for new school counselors to implement Tier 1 services. First, we recommend school scheduling a meeting with administrators to get to know the school goals and discuss school counseling program services such as core curriculum. Second, it's important to build relationships with teachers, visit their classrooms, and observe their student and classroom management style. And then begin by teaching lessons on specific topics for a few grade levels. Once we teach those lessons, it is recommended to ask for feedback and then incorporate additional lessons as you build confidence. It is also recommended to consider the number of lessons and scheduling. Try not to schedule more than 3 to 4 lessons per day and allow a short break in between lessons. Know and set boundaries and be sure to follow counselor appropriate and inappropriate duties and ensuring to prioritize core curriculum while still maintaining and building relationships. Lastly, when doing class presentations, arrive early to set up and support the transition from teacher to school counselor. And that is the end of our presentation. Here is our reference. And thank you all for listening. We appreciate you listening to our presentation.
Thank you.